A quiet morning in Winona, nothing felt out of place. A young mother finished her workout, dropped her children off at daycare, and then she vanished. No calls, no messages, no trace, but the most chilling part, the last person to see Madeline Kingsbury alive, was already waiting at home. What happened next would shock an entire community, and leave 2 children without their mother. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Crime Shadows here, and comment below where you're watching from. When Madeline Kingsbury failed to show up for work and could not be reached, panic quickly spread through her family. Her sister took to the social media platform TikTok, posting emotional videos pleading for help and urging the public to share Madeline's story. Soon, missing person flyers appeared across the streets of Winona, and local residents began organizing search efforts. Volunteers joined law enforcement, combing through neighborhoods, fields, and rural areas in hopes of finding any sign of the missing mother. As hours turned into days with no contact, concern grew rapidly because Madeline had completely disappeared without explanation. Madeline Kingsbury was a 26-year-old mother living in Winona, Minnesota. To those who knew her best, she was a devoted parent whose world revolved around her 2 young children. Friends and family often described her as responsible, dependable, and deeply caring, someone who always put the needs of others before her own. Madeline was known for her strong work ethic and commitment to providing a stable life for her family. She balanced the demands of work and motherhood with determination, rarely missing responsibilities and always striving to do her best. Whether it was showing up on time, helping a friend in need, or ensuring her children were safe and supported, reliability was one of her defining traits. Beyond her responsibilities, Madeline had a warm and nurturing personality. She valued family time, enjoyed simple routines, and took pride in being present in her children's lives. Those close to her say she was the kind of person you could always count on, steady, hardworking, and compassionate. Her sudden disappearance shocked the community because it was completely out of character. Madeline was not someone who would simply walk away from her children or her responsibilities, making her absence all the more alarming. During her college years, Madeline Kingsbury met Adam Fravel, and the two eventually built a life together. Over time, they welcomed 2 children and settled into family life in Winona, Minnesota. Like many young families, they faced challenges but continued to raise their children together. After the COVID-19 pandemic, the dynamics in their household began to shift. Adam reportedly lost his job and stayed home to care for the children, while Madeline took on the role of primary provider for the family. She worked hard to maintain financial stability and ensure their children's needs were met. However, as time passed, the relationship between the couple began to deteriorate. Friends later revealed that although they were still living under the same roof, the relationship had effectively ended. The couple had separated emotionally and were navigating a difficult transition while continuing to share the home for the sake of their children. According to people close to the situation, Madeline had started seeing someone else and was making plans to move out and begin a new chapter in her life. There were also allegations of past abuse within the relationship, adding further tension to an already strained situation. These growing conflicts would later become an important focus in the investigation. On the morning of March 31, 2023, Madeline Kingsbury began her day like any other. She went to the gym early in the morning, maintaining her usual routine. Later, she and her partner, Adam Fravel, dropped their 2 children off at daycare together in Winona, Minnesota. According to Adam, after returning home, he planned to move some household items into a storage unit. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But as the day went on, concern quickly grew. Madeline failed to show up for work and did not respond to messages or calls, behavior that was completely unlike her. By the afternoon, it became clear that something was very wrong. When police arrived at the home to investigate, they noticed several unusual and troubling details. Madeline's phone was still inside the house, along with her wallet and other personal belongings, items she would never normally leave behind. Investigators also discovered that bed sheets were missing from the bedroom, raising immediate red flags. These strange discoveries led authorities to suspect that Madeline Kingsbury had not left the house voluntarily, and that her disappearance may have involved foul play. As the investigation intensified, police formally interviewed Adam Fravel, the last person known to have seen Madeline Kingsbury alive. During questioning, Adam told investigators that the last time he saw Madeline was around 10 a.m. on March 31, 2023. He claimed that after she disappeared, he tried calling and texting her multiple times but received no response. According to his statement, he assumed she might have gone somewhere with coworkers or needed time alone. At first glance, his explanation seemed possible. However, detectives carefully reviewed his timeline and began noticing small but important inconsistencies. Details in his story did not fully match the evidence being collected, raising suspicion about what truly happened that morning in Winona, Minnesota. Soon, surveillance footage provided critical clues. Cameras captured Adam switching license plates between two vehicles, an unusual action that immediately caught investigators' attention. Additional footage tracked his movements throughout the morning, showing him driving to various locations instead of following a normal routine. Most concerning was a mysterious 45-minute period during which his exact location could not be confirmed. This unexplained gap became a major focus of the investigation. Detectives believed that whatever happened to Madeline Kingsbury may have occurred during that missing window of time, turning suspicion into a full criminal inquiry. As days turned into weeks, the search for Madeline Kingsbury grew into a massive community effort. Volunteers from across the region gathered to search rural areas surrounding Winona, Minnesota, combing through fields, wooded land, and remote backroads. Law enforcement coordinated large-scale operations, determined to find answers for her family. Desperate for information, Madeline's loved ones announced a $50,000 reward for any tip that could help locate her. Meanwhile, social media users shared her photo and story nationwide, turning her disappearance into a widely followed case. Despite the relentless search efforts and public attention, more than 2 months passed with no confirmed sightings and no clear leads. Hope slowly began to fade, replaced by growing fear about what might have happened. Then, on June 7, 2023, investigators made a heartbreaking discovery that in a remote drainage ditch near rural farmland, police found a gray bed sheet, one that closely matched the bedding reported missing from the home Madeline shared with Adam Fravel. Inside that sheet, authorities discovered human remains. Through dental records and identifying tattoos, the remains were confirmed to be those of Madeline Kingsbury. The medical examiner later ruled her death a homicide, officially transforming the missing person investigation into a murder case and bringing devastating confirmation to her grieving family. As the investigation into Madeline Kingsbury's death deepened, authorities uncovered a series of disturbing facts pointing to Adam Fravel. Investigators found that Adam had disabled location tracking on both his phone and his vehicle, effectively trying to erase digital evidence of his movements. Security cameras from the home and surrounding property had been removed, leaving significant gaps in the timeline of events. Searches of the residence revealed Madeline's electronic devices, her phone and tablet discarded in the trash, along with a laptop that had been burned, suggesting attempts to destroy potential evidence. Surveillance footage captured Adam driving an ATV into the woods while carrying a shovel. The route and location corresponded closely with where Madeline's body was eventually discovered, further implicating him in the crime. Authorities also began examining possible financial motives. Madeline had a $170,000 life insurance policy through her employment, with Adam and the couple's children listed as beneficiaries. While financial gain alone does not prove guilt, investigators noted that this added context to the suspicious actions Adam had taken before and after Madeline's disappearance. Following months of investigation, Adam Fravel was arrested and formally charged with the murder of Madeline Kingsbury. Law enforcement cited the extensive evidence collected over the preceding months, including surveillance footage, tampered electronic devices, and his suspicious movements on the day of Madeline's disappearance. The trial began in 2024 and became a high-profile case in Winona, drawing intense media and public attention. Prosecutors meticulously presented months of investigative work to the jury. They highlighted Adam's attempts to disable location tracking, remove cameras, burn a laptop, and discard Madeline's personal devices, painting a picture of deliberate planning and concealment. The prosecution also outlined the possible financial motive, noting the life insurance policy listing Adam as a beneficiary. Throughout the trial, witnesses, including neighbors, co-workers, and law enforcement officers, included testimony about Adam's actions and inconsistencies in his statements. Forensic experts confirmed the connection between Adam's movements and the location where Madeline's remains were discovered. After reviewing the overwhelming evidence, the jury found Adam Fravel guilty on all charges. The verdict provided a measure of justice for Madeline's family, confirming suspicions that her death had been intentional and meticulously orchestrated, bringing closure to the community that had searched tirelessly for answers. On December 17, 2024, the court delivered its final judgment. Adam Fravel was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, ensuring that he would never harm anyone else and holding him fully accountable for the tragic death of Madeline Kingsbury. The verdict brought a measure of justice, but it could not erase the pain felt by her family and the wider community in Winona, Minnesota. Madeline's children will grow up without their mother, missing the love, guidance, and care that she provided so selflessly. Friends, neighbors, and colleagues continue to mourn the loss of a woman described as kind, responsible, and deeply devoted to her family. Her story is a stark reminder of the dangers that can exist behind closed doors and the importance of vigilance, community awareness, and swift action when someone goes missing. If this story moved you, take a moment to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to Crime Shadows here. Help us keep Madeline's memory alive and raise awareness about the importance of protecting those we love. Her life mattered. Her story deserves to be remembered.